How's it going, guys? Good.
You talk. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, when you look at this Packers team, certainly Josh Jacobs stands out. But what else about their offense jumps off the page?
The speed of the offense. You know, like they can run the ball. They run the ball really well, and their ability to get off the ball. You see, like the speed of their O-line, the way they move off the ball. They create lanes, and Josh Jacobs doesn't need much space. And then vertically, they can stress you. You know, they've got gas all over their skill, and they're good to watch. They do a lot of good things.
They're the most efficient early down offense in football. They're the heaviest run-centric early down offense in football. What are the different challenges it presents a team that's more run-heavy or pass-centric?
I think it's like, it kind of answers in your question. It's really, they are run-heavy. And I think that allows them to be efficient. Because when they run the ball, they keep themselves in front of the sticks and they kind of control the narrative of how they play the game, you know? So it kind of, the way they play the game keeps them efficient. They do a really good job of that.
Have you seen Tyrice Knight growing with each start he's had the last few weeks?
Yeah, he has. He's grown a lot, and he's getting more. He's a pretty confident guy, you know, like low-key, just keeps himself quiet, and he does his work. And the more you're around him, he's pretty mature, and it shows up in the way he kind of takes his day-to-day. But I feel like his confidence is growing a lot.
They get a lot of explosive plays though too. Is there some key that's some kind of key that they do to get those?
Like the run game, I think, like because they can put you in the looks they want. You know, if like they're moving the ball efficiently with the running the ball, it puts them in a position to say, okay, what you can do, you can load the box, and they've got these guys that can vertically stress you.
You also scored the most points off of turnovers of any team in the league. What do you need to be aware of? Presumably some of those are sudden change, right? They're getting some quick looks right there. What do you need to be especially aware of in those situations?
I just think every time, like when you when there's a sudden change as a defense, you have to bring your mind to that moment. And like, because you don't know what the guys are doing on the sideline. They could, a sudden change, the word is in what happened. So you could be in the first or second play, you're doing some corrections, suddenly bang, you're on. So I think just in not talking about this exact scenario, but in a sudden change situation, it's about how do you bring yourself to that moment? How do you kind of bring the defense up, lock in, get ready to go out, and stop them from scoring points?
Is that something that teams practice, this sudden change? It's got to be.
Yeah, I think like you have to understand in that moment how you come together, how you get ready for it, and how you take the field.
Do you practice like the plays you might see in those situations, or can you simulate actually like in practice an actual?
You can. We don't do it. We haven't done it much here, but yeah, you can do that. You can talk about the situations. We done it earlier on in the year, and you can do it like that.
You faced Green Bay with Dallas last year in the playoffs. That was a rough game. Yeah. People talk about that as a Shanahan offense. Is that how you see LaFleur's offense, or do you see it as its own thing?
Yeah, I see it as its own thing. Like it does have like resemblance to it. Obviously, like I know Matt from Atlanta. I worked with Matt in Atlanta, and obviously he worked for Karl. And you see there's phases, but I feel like as Matt's gone on in his career, he's built his own way, and he's doing a great job.
What are some of the things that maybe stand out as different or a little variance from what you see from Shanahan?
I think some of the RPO game and the way like he moves the ball laterally and creates vertical space and can move it laterally, and some of the run game's more direct, you know, probably because of the players that he's got. But you see, he's doing a great job.
That Packers offensive line has not given up a lot of pressure all year. I think Love has been only sacked 2 more times in 3 games. What do you guys have to do to be able to create some pressure on him?
I think you have to create passing situations, and that starts with stopping the run. You know, like ultimately, like I know it's an old defensive line cliche, but you've got to earn the right to rush the passer in this league, and especially in games like this. So once you get it, you've got to be locked in. You've got to be working as 4 or 5 players, whoever's rushing, and you've got to go. And to me, it's a mindset and intention, and there's obviously technique and things that come in it, but it's just the way you've got to take the field and go.
As I said, what do you like about the way the safety rotation has been with Kobe and then with Rayshawn coming back and kind of in the role he's kind of created for him since he came back?
I think it's obviously growing. You know, like when Ray got hurt, he was in a different role, and now now they're all working together. I think each week the roles are growing, the ability to use them is different. So I like the flexibility and the versatility.
Rayshawn obviously was a starter prior to that. How was he kind of, I guess, adapted to what's not a starter?
Ray's a pro, and it's like that's this league. It is, but he's owning his role and he's doing a great job.
What have you seen from Rick Warren just since you got here? I asked him, he talked about last year different defense, this one different defense. He said it's helped him as an overall player. How have you seen him grow?
I think that's a credit to like his coaches and the guys that are working with him. They poured into him, and Karl Scott and Les and those guys, how they develop him, and the amount of work he puts in. I've seen him grow as a person too. So he's doing a good job.
And Witherspoon talked about, he talks to referees. He said he's asking to get a sense of how they're going to call the pass interference. Just what's the coaching policy of that in terms of your players, how to play without getting that pass interference? What are some of the points on that?
Yeah, it's usually like you can't grab at the top of the routes, and understanding like the push-offs that come. Like Spoon's a young, intelligent player. Like I think he understands that. He understands how to work leverage, and that's a day-to-day thing, you know.
Do you think any EPL teams would wear action green kits at some point?
Maybe. We'll see if they like it on Sunday night.
I think it was after the Jets game, Mike had joked that you guys call him like robotic, how he calls the plays.
I call him robotic.
Yeah.
He said I call him a computer.
But what is he like on the headset?
He's great. Like Matt's a smart guy. He's always a step ahead, and he does a good job. I wouldn't say he's a robot. Definitely not.
What goes into being a step ahead in today's game where they have a
The prep, you know, like the preparation, the thought process, and that's a question you have to ask him too.
Do you have a job description? I say that tongue in cheek because Mike on Monday was asked on the Brown show what you do, and he said he doesn't do anything because he don't want anybody to take you away.
He gave you the answer. I don't do nothing.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks.